I took an old scrapbook page kit from my stash and decided to play with it. So if you'd like to see the pages I made and how I reworked it, then stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Beth. Welcome to Bringing Back Basic Gray for December of 2022. This is the final collab video for 2022. And Bringing Back Basic Gray is just a small collaboration I'm doing with my friend Sarah, who is crafting and relaxing here on YouTube, and Kathy, who is Stampin' Cat over on Instagram. We have all love and miss Basic Gray papers. Basic Gray doesn't make papers anymore. They've switched over to fabric. And we decided that each month we're going to pull out some of our beloved papers, play with them, and try to enjoy them instead of just keeping them stashed away in a drawer somewhere. And we are continuing this into 2023, so we will continue to bring you some Basic Gray inspiration each month. If you have been a Basic Gray hoarder, or maybe you just love Basic Gray paper and enjoy seeing the papers. And Sarah is actually taking this month off, but Kathy is over on Instagram with her Basic Gray projects for this month. So for this month, I needed to focus on scrapbooking. I have a goal to reach by the end of the year for scrapbooking, and I am not anywhere near reaching that yet, and it is mid-December. So I decided I needed to do some scrapbooking, so I went through my Basic Gray stash and found this page kit, which I believe was gifted to me by Laurel. And it's like a Valentine's theme kit, but I did not use it for that, so I kind of reworked it a little bit. But the kit was great. You know, it was kind of nice. Like the first set of pages I did, I kind of used the basic layout of the kit, but tweaked it a little bit. But, you know, it comes with instructions, and it came with several pages of pop-out embellishments, and you know, there were numbers on each embellishment that told you which page they went with, and then there were a lot of ones that were marked bonus, so those are just that you can keep in your stash. So I have like a whole bunch of embellishments left that either were bonus or ones I didn't use on my pages because of the way I ended up using them. And there were some rub-ons as well. So I did 2 sets of pages. It actually called for a set of double pages and then 2 singles, but I did the first set of double pages pretty much like it said, although when I was looking through my photos to figure out what I wanted to use for this page, I didn't see any that had like 4 vertical. A lot of times I never have the same orientation of pictures, like I'll have vertical and horizontal, but I had 3 vertical on this one. And so I decided to kind of just shift things around and make it work. And so some of the patterns are pre-printed on the pages, and then some of the kind of extras, like the borders here, those were all punch out pieces from the kit. And then I liked how in the example they took this piece, which did have holes. Like you could punch out the little circles and it created the holes. So then you had kind of like a, I don't know, like a lacy feel at the end, but it was just a straight edge. But they had actually made theirs look more like a notebook paper. And so I liked that and decided to go with that. So I went and kind of cut at each of the holes. Some of them I tore and then kind of like grunged them up, like moved them around. And then I changed up my title because I was not doing, I mean, I could have used You Are Loved for my daughter, but it didn't fit with the theme. She's making a felt stuffed owl, and so I went Handmade with Love, and this was one of the bonus embellishments, this love piece. And because I was putting it on the big notebook style embellishment that was the same color, I ended up inking the edges. And so I went ahead and I inked the edges of this kind of like notebook piece and then my photo mats. I already had like the border strips down that you were supposed to add, so I didn't go ink that. And plus, I mean, you can't really ink, you know, this was all, some of it was printed on there, so you couldn't ink the edges unless you just kind of went through and were smudging along the lines. But so I just inked those elements. I didn't go and ink all of the embellishments either. So it's kind of a mix on this layout. And then I used the love and then used some letter stamps I had in my stash to do handmade with love. And then I did my journaling, and then some of the embellishments are chipboard, and then some were just like the regular like cardstock die cut. And so like here, I think I kept the cluster similar to what they had, and then I kind of added this, changed up that, and then these clusters I kept as they had, and then added some extra clusters down here. So that is my first layout. And then when I was looking through photos to do the other 2 pages, I realized I could combine like some of like just random days within the month, like where you may only have like 1 or 2 pictures. I combined some of the days and ended up with 4 pictures. So I totally could have used this on that first layout. So I ended up taking these 2 individual pages, and because they had similar colors throughout, but different patterns, I just tried to kind of make it flow across both pages and create one double page layout. So again, some of the patterns were pre-printed. There were some border strips that you added on both of the pages. And then this page had come with these, like it's like a black polka dot mat. There were 2 of those. And then this page came with a large, like 2 photo size green mat. So what I did is I pulled the black polka dot mats across, so you have one of those on each page, and then I took that green and kind of cut it in half so that it met here in the middle of both pages. And so that kind of tied the matte colors together, and then I tried to pull in certain things on each one that would kind of tie patterns together. Like this flower, you know, brings in this pink polka dot here. There's orange polka dots on both pages. Some of the flowers are similar. The rub-ons, you know, so I tried to kind of make things flow across as best I could to take 2 individual pages and make them a 2-page layout. And then obviously I didn't use their layout at all since I was making 2 pages here, but I did use this grouping, which they had called for, and it is like it's got a combination of rub-ons and then some embellishments, and then I kind of did my own little grouping down here, and then this page was almost totally different. I think the only thing I followed was they had this butterfly somewhere on this heart, and so that's kind of what I did down there. But this was actually one giant rub-on that I ended up, it was supposed to go on this page somewhere, and I just cut it in half, and I used half of it down here to kind of flow out from behind my journaling, and then half up here to go with my title. Then to get my title, like I hadn't used any, there were letters to be a title on each of the layouts, and I didn't use any of them. And so I kind of grouped them all together and tried to figure out what could I knew I could do you, like that was one of the words from one of the layouts. But looking at the letters I had left, I was like, what kind of title can I make? What word can I make that would fit this layout of Ellie? And so I was able to come up with lovable. And so it's kind of a combination. There's some chipboard letters and then some just flat, like cardstock punched out letters. So I made it work and had a lot of fun with this page kit. So thank you, Laurel, for sending me that. And it was kind of nice to I haven't scrapbooked in a bit. So it was nice to kind of get me back in the flow, and then hopefully the rest of this month I can get cracking and crank out all those other pages that I need to get done. So that is my share for you today. And the kit was dated 2009. So, and it was the Sugar Rush patterns, I believe, because it was a Sugar Rush, yeah. So that's why I think I thrifted some Sugar Rush, like a mini pad. I'll have to look. But I just kept these because a lot of times the colors are even same kind of across certain, like the different collections. And so I'll keep these and I will add those to my stash because I don't really have many embellishments that go with the papers in my stash. So that's what I did today. Again, I will have a link to Kathy down in the description box below so you can go to Instagram and check her out. And then we will be back in 2023 with some more basic gray inspiration. Thank you guys so very much for your time. I hope you're all having a very happy holiday season, and I hope you all have a crafty day as well.